Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm from Transforming Knots Together, and I'm here now with Megan Towers from Open Homes and Nottingham Nighstop. Megan, could you just let us know a little bit about what Open Homes do and the story behind it?
Yes, Open Homes basically works with homeless 16 to 25-year-olds, and we provide accommodation in host families' homes. We provide two different projects. We've got Nottingham Nightstop, which is emergency accommodation, where our volunteers host just overnight, night by night. And then we've got supported lodgings, where the young person stays with the family for up to 12 months.
Have you found that since lockdown that stuff's changed for you a lot, or has it stayed the same? What's your response been?
Yeah, so obviously we weren't sure if hosts were still going to want to host in this environment, and a lot of our hosts do have underlying health conditions, so it wasn't safe to be placing young people with them. But we do still have a core of hosts who are happy and willing to host at the moment. But we've changed what we do slightly. So before, young people would come in the evening and have a meal with the family, stay overnight in their own room, and then have breakfast in the morning, and then they would go back to the referral agency. Obviously, most places are closed at the moment, and the more the young person's coming backwards and forwards was just increasing the risk. So hosts have now been doing 24-hour placements, and often for a number of days at a time, which is just amazing because that's so much higher than what they'd signed up for originally.
Wow, that's amazing. It's an incredible thing that people are volunteering in different ways, aren't they, across the city? And it's amazing to hear the stories. So what's next for you? What's the kind of longer term response? Do you expect the needs to go up? Do you expect to see higher numbers of referrals once lockdown kind of comes to an end?
Yeah, so again, we weren't sure what was going to happen with referrals, and at the beginning of lockdown we were still getting referrals through. We had a little bit of a lull in the middle of May, and then suddenly we've had a load more referrals coming in. So the demand's still there. Obviously we've got a very small host base now, so that's putting a lot of demand on them, but so far we have pretty much managed to host everyone who's needed to, which is great. But yeah, for us, we need to look at how long is it going to be before other the hosts will be able to come back in safely to hosting, and we're desperately looking at how can we recruit online and maybe get in some more people who would be happy to host and are able to host and not be as high risk as some of the other hosts we have in terms of their health conditions and needs.
So you do need more volunteers at the moment?
Definitely, and I think for us as well, the supported lodgings host is what we really could do with at the moment, because obviously if someone comes into the household and stays there, that's better than lots of different people moving around. And so I mean, Nightstop is definitely still needed, and we do still have that demand there, and we still need Nightstop hosts, but the longer term supported lodgings is what we really want to be doing more of now at the moment as well. What
can people do if they want to get in touch with you to find out more, find out how to get started with volunteering?
So obviously they can email us on info@nottinghamnightstop.org, or they can give us a call on the office number. I'm sure you'll show that, or we'll have a link to it later. But we're also doing a volunteer recruitment event via Zoom on the 29th of June at 7:30. So if anybody's interested in just hearing more about what we do, the practical side of it, and also meeting some of our hosts who obviously already been hosting, then they can talk to them, ask them loads of questions. We also have drivers as well, I didn't mention before. So when the young person comes to the host house, they're picked up by a driver, usually from the referral agency in the city centre. So our drivers are a key part of the team as well. So that's another option if you haven't got a spare room in order to host.
I hosted for Nightstop a few years ago, and it's just such a privilege to be able to have young people in your homes. It's like nothing else that I've ever done. Thank you very much for letting us know. Finally, is there like a story that you can share, or something that's really, really precious to you over the last couple of months?
Yeah, so I mean, there's obviously loads of stories, and every young person's very different. And I think what's really special about Nightstop is that it's not just giving them a room, it's also that bringing somebody into the family environment. And I think that has more impact than you probably even think it could. I think we're all quite, probably as sort of people grown up in church and stuff, might have had quite stable backgrounds and be used to a home that's just welcoming and warm, but a lot of these young people have never experienced that. So actually coming into that environment even for one night can make such an impact on them, and really give them aspirations, as to what they want in the future, rather than what they might have had in the past. So we've had some young people on supported lodgings who've come in from really tricky backgrounds. So one young lad whose mum's partner was violent towards him, he actually ended up in hospital and then got referred into our service. And for him, it's been quite a journey, because what he's been used to and coping mechanisms, like in their family, going out and smoking cannabis was how you cope with problems, and obviously learning different ways of coping and how to budget your money and how to cook. So our supported lodgings worker Dawn sort of took him out shopping and was showing him how to look for the good value brands and everything. And it was so exciting the time that she could just just let him go into the shop on his own. He came back and said, oh, I got this and that and the other, and I stayed within my budget. And just the confidence of the young people, what they learn over time. And this young lad as well was able to go on training courses and got all these qualification certificates, and I don't think he even knew that he was capable of doing these things. So it was just really good to see that confidence was like, yeah, I can actually do this, and I can go further, which is really exciting.
Thank you so much. Wouldn't it be wonderful to see more people, Christians across the city, stepping up and hosting young people in their homes? It's just brilliant. Thank you so much, Megan. And don't forget, if you want to get in touch with Megan, you can go to the website, which is
openhomes.org.uk.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.